At 130 miles per hour through the corners of Watkins Glen International, with 38 laps still to go, Kyle Busch calmly picked up his radio. Not to report a mechanical issue, not to call for a pit strategy adjustment. He keyed up and said, "Can somebody try to find Bill Heisel? He's the Kindred Doctor guy. Tell him I need him after the race, please." His team immediately asked whether the doctor should meet him at his car or at his bus. Busch didn't hesitate. "Bus. I'm going to need a shot." And then he put the radio down and kept racing. No panic. No drama. Just a two-time Cup Series champion quietly asking for medical help while piloting a 600-horsepower race car at speed. And nobody knows exactly why. That right there is the most chilling part of this entire story. If you want to stay on top of every development in this story and everything else happening in NASCAR, hit that like button and subscribe right now. This channel is just getting started, and every single subscriber genuinely matters. Let's break down everything that happened this weekend and what it really means for Kyle Busch's future in NASCAR. To understand why Sunday's radio call hit so hard, you first need to understand exactly where Kyle Busch stands in 2026. He is 40 years old. He has 63 career Cup Series victories and 2 championships. He is one of the most decorated drivers this sport has ever produced. And yet, right now, he sits 24th in the point standings after 12 races, with only 2 top 10 finishes all season. He has gone over 100 starts without a win. And this is a contract year at Richard Childress Racing. That context is everything. Sunday felt different from the very first lap. Busch started 21st and was methodical and patient, working his way through the field with the kind of calculated precision that defined his championship years. He found himself inside the top 5 as the final stage began. For a man who has been bleeding points all year and fighting for his racing future, this was exactly the kind of day he desperately needed. The best race of his entire 2026 season was unfolding in real time. And Watkins Glen is no easy place to perform under pressure. It is one of the most grueling road courses on the entire schedule. Sustained braking, high cornering forces, and brutal cockpit heat that builds for hours make it physically punishing even for a healthy driver. It is absolutely not the place you want to be sick. And then came the radio call that stopped the NASCAR world cold. The exchange was brief but impossible to ignore. In an even and measured voice, Busch asked his team to locate Dr. William Heisel, a medical professional with extensive work with NASCAR teams, drivers, and pit crew members, a known and trusted figure in the garage. When his team asked where the doctor should meet him, Busch answered without hesitation, "Bus. I'm going to need a shot." Radio goes down. Busch keeps racing. Fox Sports broadcaster Mike Joy provided the only official context available during the race. Busch had been battling a sinus cold throughout the entire week leading into Watkins Glen. That is the only public explanation on the table. But drivers don't casually request medical attention 38 laps from the finish. The specificity of "I'm going to need a shot" raised immediate concern across the sport. Social media flooded with reaction the moment the audio was broadcast during the live coverage. "Hope he's okay. That sounds ominous," wrote one fan. "That sounds painful," added another. And perhaps most telling of all, "He's racing hurt and still running top 5. That's the real Rowdy. He didn't ask to come in. He didn't stop. He drove 38 more laps, carrying whatever he was dealing with, completely alone inside that car, until the checkered flag fell. That fact alone demands respect." Busch finished 8th, his best result of the entire 2026 season. He ran inside the top 5 for much of the afternoon, outperforming road course specialists and younger drivers while sick enough to require a post-race injection. Shane Van Gisbergen won the race, but the story of the day belonged to Busch, a man fighting for his career, fighting through illness, fighting through a brutal season. And he still showed up, still strapped in, still delivered. That tells you something about Kyle Busch that the standings simply don't. But before we talk about what this means going forward, we need to talk about what Kevin Harvick said, because it changed everything. 1 week before Watkins Glen at Texas Motor Speedway, Busch made contact with John Hunter Nemechek on the white flag lap. costing both drivers multiple positions at the end of the race. NASCAR reviewed the telemetry. Significant car damage may have caused the contact, and ultimately chose not to issue a penalty. But the court of public opinion had already delivered its verdict. Denny Hamlin publicly suggested a penalty was warranted. Busch dropped from a likely top 10 finish to a 20th place result. The damage was done. Then came Kevin Harvick, speaking on speed with Harvick and Buxton, and doing so relatively unsolicited. Harvick said something that made the entire broadcast stop. It's a contract year for Kyle Busch. I believe that this is probably realistically maybe the only spot that he has to still have a seat in the sport. And I think he needs to do everything that he can do to try to protect that, and I think that this was definitely not the way that it needed to end at the end of this race. Co-host Brad Buxton's eyebrows shot up as the weight of those words landed. Harvick continued, I would say that the 8 car is the potential only spot for Kyle Busch as you look forward. Now there may be something that I'm overlooking. There's a lot of things that could shake up down the road. But I believe that the 8 car, if not the only spot, is probably the best spot for Kyle Busch. These are not the words of a random critic. Kevin Harvick is a peer, a former rival, and one of the most respected voices in all of motorsports. He raced alongside Busch for years. He understands the garage, the politics, and the economics better than almost anyone. The entire RCR organization has underperformed in 2026, and Busch's numbers have been the most alarming on the team. Teams and sponsors are making 2027 lineup decisions right now, behind closed doors. Every week without improvement makes the case for keeping Busch in the number 8 harder to justify. He is 40 years old. The sport is getting younger. And one of his closest peers just said on national television that he might have nowhere left to go. But let's be clear about what Kyle Busch's legacy actually represents. 63 Cup Series wins, 2 championships, one of the most complete skill sets the sport has ever produced. A career that should be celebrated without asterisks. The cruel math of professional sports, talent versus age versus results, eventually catches every great athlete. Earnhardt, Petty, Gordon Johnson, they all faced this exact crossroads. Kyle Busch is staring at it right now, in real time, in the most public way possible. And yet the signs at Watkins Glen were genuine. The crew chief change made earlier in the season has started to show results. He qualified well at Texas and ran competitively before the late race incident. The 8th place finish at Watkins Glen reflected real, legitimate pace. He's not coasting. He's not phoning it in. Even Harvick acknowledged that there are a lot of things that could shake up down the road and that the season is far from over. What Busch needs now is simple in concept and difficult in execution. Consistent top 10 finishes, no self-inflicted mistakes, and a collective turnaround at RCR that gives ownership and sponsors a concrete reason to commit to 2027. The radio call at Watkins Glen revealed something about Kyle Busch that no stat sheet can measure. He didn't quit. He didn't use the illness as an excuse to back off. He handled business, told his team what he needed, and went back to work. Even in his worst season in over a decade, even with critics circling and contract questions looming, people still genuinely care about Kyle Busch. His story still matters to millions of NASCAR fans. This isn't just about standings or contracts. This is about how one of the greatest careers in NASCAR history ends. And right now, Kyle Busch is making sure it doesn't end quietly. He radioed for a doctor at Watkins Glen. He needed a shot just to get through the weekend. And he still finished 8th. Still outran drivers half his age on one of the hardest tracks on the schedule while feeling terrible. That's Kyle Busch in 2026. Battered, questioned, written off by some, and still absolutely refusing to go quietly. The next few months of this story are going to be must-watch NASCAR. If you want to follow every chapter of it, this is genuinely a great time to support this channel. We are a new channel working hard toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and every like and subscription makes a real difference. Hit that button, and let's build something together. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Kyle Busch still has what it takes to win in 2026? Or is Harvick right that his time in NASCAR is running out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.